Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. This is going to be a short video today. I'm just going to talk about stupid impulse buys, a couple things going on in the handheld world. I've been busy. Sorry, I have certifications I'm studying for and testing on and all this good stuff. So, whereas normally I have time to do this, I've been, studying. So, first thing, late night impulse buy. Yep, was messing around, ended up over on Etsy and seeing this little TV housing for, handheld. It was like $10. I don't know why. Before I knew it, I had checked out and already bought it. Late night stuff, man. Those impulse buys, especially something cheap. Yeah. Anyway, it's still kind of neat. It's just a little 3D printed TV housing, and it holds my Miu Mini V4. Of course, USPS and shipping. The person shipped it in a bubble mailer, and then USPS just wrapped it up with rubber bands and jammed it in my mailbox. So some things are a little off, but the guy who sells it, he had some ideas here. So you can still access the buttons right here. You can get to the power button on top, the volume button on the side. So I guess the idea is either Bluetooth a controller to it, which I didn't bring any of my little Bluetooth controllers, or I would, or throw on like GBA video. You know how they have the movies that are in horrible, like awful quality and sound like shit and look like shit, like Shrek and Shrek 2 for GBA. Yeah, just play those. I don't know, I thought it was interesting. In the long run, this will go on a shelf in my house as a display, and I'll just keep the Miu Mini in it. But it looks good with the Chrono Trigger background on there. And of course, I knock stuff right off of it when I do that. That just fits in that little hole there. Anyway, yeah, knobs aren't anything. They're just printed. Holy shit, they actually do turn. Never mind, I didn't think they did anything. But nope, they turn. Very little, but they turn. Feels like I'm going to break them. But I'm old enough to have had a TV like this. So, a long time ago, my oldest son was born. We had a big TV that was in a big wooden case thing, and you had to walk up and pull the knob to turn it on, and had the knob below it that clicked to change the channel, and the knob you pull to turn it on, you turn it, and that's the volume. And the sponsor of my channel back in those days, me and him used to hang out in front of that old horrible TV, and we'd run to GameStop, pick up whatever we could afford, because we both were poor, and just hang out and play whatever with my 1-year-old son on my lap. He's 18 now, though. Anyway, moving on past stupid impulse buys. And speaking of stupid buys, the Magic X040 is now available for order. I don't know how I feel about this one. The price makes it to where maybe I'll order one. Honestly, if it would have been at $80, I probably would have walked away. But $75, maybe I'll pick one up. I mean, it's clearly aimed at DS emulation with the screen they used. This is the handheld you look at and go, you can use your phone for emulation, right? Because that's what you're staring at. So it's nothing special internal wise. Let's see here. Yeah, All-Winner A133. So your Trim UI brick, your Trim UI Smart Pro, same internals there. Let's see, I haven't even looked through the specs fully myself. 4-inch IPS, 0 distance OCA, full lamination, 480 by 800. So that would be that way by that way. Let's see here. 2 gig DDR4, Bluetooth, 2.4 Wi-Fi. Supports PSP, which would be fucking terrible on that screen. PlayStation 1. Honestly, most of these are going to be kind of shitty on this screen. Really, if you're going for this handheld, be a big fan of DS emulation. I guess the sad part is it's only powerful enough for DS emulation and not 3DS emulation. Now, if it would have been 3DS emulation, yeah, it would have been, way more expensive. Tack on another $125 to it at least. But if you get this is one of those handhelds, you put games on it just for that system. So you would get an SD card, throw just DS stuff on it, and there you go. Now, if you have like a Retroid Pocket 5, I would hold off on spending $75 and look at the screen add-on for the Retroid Pocket 5 that I have coming in. If you're considering, if you want a DS handheld and you don't feel like hopping on Mercari or eBay and spending $20 to $40 on a regular DS Lite and, slapping in an R4 card or a knockoff R4 card for $10, being way under the $75 price point, and have the original hardware, in this case, the original hardware being way cheaper, even after getting a knockoff R4. I have trouble justifying this one. I might pick it up in the long run just for the hell of it. I have yet to purchase a Magic X device because I think the company is shit. They have lied about every handheld they have released. Every handheld they have released has had problems and it sucked, at least right out the gate. That last one, that Magic X 028, whatever, I thought about picking it up. I almost bought one about a week ago off some sell site that some guy was selling it for super cheap, and by the time we started talking about it, he had removed the listing because he decided to keep it. But what do you guys think about this? Is this something you're going to go in for $75? I don't think so. Like I said, I'm on the fence. It'll have to be an impulse buy. I'll have to have the extras just lying around, and I'll have to be about to fall asleep and order it, maybe. I guess we'll wait and see like real reviews on it, and if it does seem like a great DS model, which I have a really good, like 95% perfect DS Lite that I play on, so this is not something I need, and I am going to quit droning on about this. Let's move on. So I seen this one pop up. The Mang-Me Air X or Mang-Me, or how the fuck ever you say this stupid shit. Snapdragon 662, 4 gigs DDR4, Android 14. It looks exactly like every other device like this, except weaker. Yeah, right up here they're saying the Snapdragon 662, which seems to land around the Helio G85 or T610 in terms of performance. That's not worth buying. This shit better be like $60 because it is not a couple $100 handheld. It looks like a version of those like the Game MT handhelds. I got the circle, like full rubber D-pad that looks just god awful, and they made a whole line of devices like that you'll randomly see ads for, and people are like, this is the best, and it is some dollar store bullshit. That's where this is coming off at. I don't know. If they price it under 100, if this comes in like around this price, maybe I'll test one. But anything more than that, and you have better choices out there. Moving on. So, Brick Hammer is up for pre-orders, which is weird because me and the sponsor were talking about it, and we already pre-ordered a gunmetal gray, or yeah, a gunmetal gray and a fluorescent green. And then it would have been like a day or two, maybe 2 days, and then people were finally saying, "Oh, pre-orders just went live." We had already pre-ordered this shit. Oh, they're pre-ordering from Go Game Geek. Oh, we got to see this. At least they kept it at the right price, because they're about $99. But I'm curious. There's your Go Game Geek for you. So you can get a regular brick with the Cross Mix OS, which don't waste your money, for $99.99, or you can get the Brick Hammer for $99.99. They don't think about their pricing ever. I haven't ordered from them in a while because they've gotten ridiculous with some of their stuff. So some of their pricing just makes me sick, and a lot of times they mislabel stuff, and they'll have, like, if you look back in their Ambernick devices, they'll have, like, say, take the Arc, they'll have the Arc S more expensive than the Arc D, and they'll have the specs for the Arc D on the Arc S and the Arc S specs on the Arc D. So you don't know which one you're going to order, but I guarantee you order the cheaper one, they're going to send you the S, even though it's labeled as the D. So poor website management, and some of the price gouging on here, knowing that I can just go from Go Game Geek to Retroid and save $60 here and save $110 here. Well, like $100. I don't remember how much it is on Retroid, but it's not $340 is what I'm saying. So this type of, like, inflation for no fucking reason. And look, the Retroid Pocket 4 Pro is still $309. So it's ridiculous sometimes. And for a while, I really liked Go Game Geek. I was ordering from them because I was using, like, code Joey, and I was able to get certain handhelds for cheaper that way. And you still can. But you do not want to pick up high-end handhelds from here. Anything in that, Retroid Pocket 5 area, go get it from Retroid. So let's see what they got. Yeah, and here's the thing. If they stocked this, their U.S. warehouse, if they actually did the work and stocked a U.S. warehouse themselves, I would pay extra for that. But their U.S. warehouse stock is old shit, out of stock shit, stuff that just doesn't matter. But if they spent the time and stocked this, I would buy from them because it's already in country and it would get here quicker. So it would be worth it to me to spend. I wouldn't pay $339 for a fucking Retroid Pocket Flip 2 ever. But I'd pay a little inflated cost for that. Enough, add 10%, 20%, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I've quit ordering from them. But Brick Hammer, $99.99. We got one of these on the way. We got two of them on the way, and we are considering doing the two-tone thing where I'll be taking these buttons and putting them on here, and these buttons and putting them on here, and making two. What we wanted was two black and green handhelds, but since this is more of a gray, we may not button swap them because it might look really, really off. But yeah, I suggest going ahead for this. This is going to be cool. This is a neat device. It's always kind of nice to get a metal handheld. And Trim UI releasing the Brick Hammer makes the GKD Pixel and Pixel 2 completely fucking pointless. Because you're right around the price range. You're bigger than the GKD Pixel, but you're not as big as, like, the GKD Mini Plus, Classic Plus Pro, whatever mini handheld that I have. So you get everything you know and love about the Trim UI brick, but you get it in metal. So recap, hell yeah, hell no, meh, and fuck was I thinking? All right, guys, we're going to end it there. I know it was a short one today. I didn't get around to it yesterday because I was testing, and I got to get back to it. I actually got to jump in there right now and get the testing. I know I have some stuff coming in the next day or so. Hopefully tomorrow, some stuff starts to arrive. If not, we'll just get on a bullshit like we always do. View it more of just hanging out, man. So, all right, I'll see you guys in the next episode.